This is a presentation of the Badlands Media Network. I cannot see what is being broadcast, but I can see that I am being broadcast. So this is going to be one hell of a show. I have no idea. I told you I have this new laptop, and man, Dell uploaded all kinds of updates that apparently were needed, and it has screwed up what was working beautifully. You see me? I heard nothing. I saw nothing. I had to try and kind of sort of time. Okay, how long are these damn things? And hey, you live for challenges, I guess, right? And it's like, this is a challenge. I'm just gonna have to get through this challenge, and we'll have to figure it out. I want to do some housekeeping, and I did a little bit of lawn mowing this morning, and that is what has truly gotten me off track. And but I want to kind of sort of have a discussion with y'all about, kind of flows into what we do on the show, what I'm trying to do on the show. But also, I think Diana commented yesterday. I was talking about, look, there are no Nazis in Ukraine. Stop it. And of course, people are dedicated on the belief that there are. Okay, fine. Diana, I think, made the comment. Somebody made the comment. Hey, they are all lying. And this is my point. On a certain level, this is my point to everybody. There are wars going on. We've got this war in this country that people don't quite really fully grasp. I think, even within our Badlands Media community of content creators, and they underestimate my bias. Everybody's got opinions, and my opinions are very biased. I admit that up front. But you make a serious mistake when you underestimate Russian propaganda. And you make a serious mistake when you find yourself pimping Russian propaganda, even if it just happens to be what you truly believe. That you need to think 3 times about. But they are all lying, because we are in a war. And if you've learned something about this MAGA movement and why it's a necessity, we've been lied to for a long time. The Russians have participated in that lie. They are not alone. The deep state has participated in that lie. The globalists, vested interests have participated in that lie. We're talking about humanity within a realm. Sinners. Yes, there are obvious lies being told. On a certain level, this need not be said, but it has to be reiterated. So yeah, they are all lying. It's the reason why we need healthy skepticism, right? It's the reason why we have to develop a better way of discerning what the hell is what. It's the reason why we have to be very careful, as Americans particularly, of navel gazing and being content with the belief that the world revolves around us. In many ways it does. You've heard me say there can only be one, and we are that one. Believe that. But there are things that come with that, and there are limitations on that. There can only be one thing. There are limitations on that as well. Okay. But all of that to say, before I forget, I very much want to, since this is going to be the last week of Monday through Friday shows before the 2-week hiatus, Not sure what the network is going to do. Nobody has said anything to me about what they're going to do. And lacking that, I've begun some discussions with, okay, if nothing is going to be done, then maybe there's some time slots that can be filled. But what I want to talk to y'all about is after that 2-week hiatus, when we come back, I've talked this show about chat, how much I enjoy the chat, contributors in the chat, and that there may be some folks. I specifically remember the chemtrails discussion, and being surprised just how fervently, okay, some of y'all really believe the chemtrail stuff, and I've told you my serious skepticism about that. Not the attempt, the actual fact of being able to be mission accomplished. And so, what I want to do is I want to invite some members of the chat, if they're open to that, if they have video capability, if they want to be a part of the show. The way I think I want to try and do it, because I've come up out of sports talk, and people love to talk yang on sports talk. They love to pull little tricks. They love to do pretense, and then they get on and they come out of the bag with something. I'm not interested in that. So what I'm interested in, if you are interested in the chat, you don't need to say so in the chat. You can privately email me, rattlergator@gmail.com. Let me put this in here. And just in case somebody's new, you can indicate to me that you are interested. This is your handle. And if it's a particular subject that you want to talk about, well and good. If there's a top 3 or so things you're interested in, well and good. And then the back and forth that we have will allow me to determine, okay, I'm going to be I'm just telling you now, don't get your feelings involved, because I'm not putting anybody on because of their feelings. If there's something that engages me and it's a part of the show organically and it makes sense in my mind to have a discussion, then I will very much be interested in bringing you on. And the way that will work is the week of, maybe the day before, whatever, we'll set aside a time. We will record your segment, and I will play that segment during the show. And then you can be in the chat. You can participate in the chat while your subject of interest is being played. That's the way I've conceptualized it. Okay. So there are some people who I would like to volunteer from the chat to participate in this thing. But, it's an individual. I know people who absolutely do not want to get on the camera, will not get on the camera, but will participate in chat. Okay, fine. That's great. It's just an opportunity if you're open to it. And so think about that. You don't have to indicate it in the chat. You can if you want, but it's really the email communication. For instance, you saw Cigar City Patriot on the other day. That came out of interaction we had down in Miami at the Bitcoin conference. That kind of thing, is something I'm looking for. Not long segments. It doesn't have to be like what I did with her, but just, 5, 10, 15 minutes, just to put the subject out, framed in the way you want to discuss it. Because if my healthy skepticism is evident, I'm likely not going to frame it in the way you think advances clarity on the subject. So let me check into the chat, since I can see that. Can't see me, can't see the live run, but I can see the chat. Thank you, Eurythmic. Yeah, there's so much. Another reason why I want this 2-week break is like I can't follow the news. I just have so much stuff going on y'all are far more up to date on what the heck is being presented and what's being shown. Um, but yeah, this UFO. I do not pay attention to UFO stuff. Not interested in the slightest. I went to a baseball game yesterday. We're going to get away. The time is going to, but I don't care. I went to a Gator baseball game yesterday, enjoyed myself thoroughly, especially because we won 6-0 to stay in the national championship hunt. And we host the Carolina Gamecocks this weekend. They have a very good team. Uh, they swept us this year, won all 3 games. So that's going to be, a tough assignment. Once you get down to, I think this is the final 16 teams, every game is going to be tough. So, but I enjoyed that. And then I had to drive to Jacksonville. I'm bitching. I'm in a little bit of I'm in a little bit of a happy bitchy mood. Got to drive to Tampa today. I'm going to enjoy seeing family down there. Yeah, I need a retweet of the Larry Logan. No. Hmm. Okay, Eurythmic has given me a link. I will try and watch that sometime today. Anything General Flynn, I'm telling you, maximum dab to General Flynn and President Trump. Oh my Lord, no, she doesn't. She talks about Ukraine, Nazis, biolabs, globalists, and Putin. Oh God Almighty, no. Now listen, y'all need to understand something. You need to understand something about where I'm coming from. Okay? I give maximum dap to General Flynn, but General Flynn's a spook. Do you understand me? All right? A war is being waged, okay? There are battles being had, and there are necessary moves that have to be made on that battle plan. The fact that I give somebody maximum DAP does not mean I am a slave to what they say. President Trump came out with his vaccine stuff, right? And my senses said bullshit. And I run with my senses, no damn body else's. So, on a certain level, I don't give a damn if she's saying there are Nazis in Ukraine. There are not Nazis in Ukraine. That is Russian propaganda bullshit. And if they need to discover the networks, if they need to boost somebody up, if I was a spook, okay, and you are trying to discover the networks, do you think I would have a problem pimping some of these people, pimping the bullshit? Hell no. I'm just saying. You're not going to budge me from the no Nazis in Ukraine thing. I've seen too much Russian propaganda for that. The biolabs thing. I know too damn much about every nation of substance doing research into because they have to. If North Korea has some type of attack and you are not prepared, your ass is grass. So you have to do some damn research. I don't understand why this is hard for people. It is the easiest thing to fake in terms of a narrative. Yeah, you're going to find some damn labs. Why do you think? Anyway, let me not go. Let me not go there. Yeah, I'm trying to roll with it, Nancy. I'm gonna get through the show, but man, I'm so happy with the laptop. I'm not even gonna be upset. I know there's an update because I did a bunch of updates yesterday, and that has created the problem. Okay, so I got to work through that, but I'm happy with the product. It's all Ghost in the Machine. Kinship. This is why I say to people, quit trying to really nail down specifics. Who are you going to give maximum DAP to? This is job number one to me in terms of discernment, and recognize that there's no need to be a slave to them. But who are you going to give maximum dap to? So, yeah, but it's all, man, they're doing overtime work. If you pay attention to what's being put out in Ukraine, right? I'm not beating up on our guys. I'm just saying they're the most immediate comparison on the Russia angle. And you see defected, and they're talking about Prigozhin says they've won Bakhmut. You don't understand. How do I say this without upsetting people? But it's like, okay, you don't really understand what's happening. There is no winning of Bakhmut, period. That's done and over. They are battling over some stuff. And notice how hard and heavy they say it's of no particular strategic importance. That's bullshit. Nobody fights that hard and loses that many men on both sides if it's not of strategic importance. It's a very strategic importance. But I'm saying we're accepting some stuff without discernment to me. And anytime I see that, I got a bit of a problem, especially when it dovetails with Russian propaganda. You've seen, gets me a little bit out of shape. I'm not big on that. Yeah, O'Brien, you are more surprised at my skepticism because you firmly believe there are Nazis. Which are A-OK with that. You firmly believe there are Nazis in Ukraine, and the Estonians are A-OK with that. I don't. You don't know more than them. Trust me on that. In terms of Nazis in Ukraine, you don't know more than them. Or let me put it this way. How about this? If there are Nazis in Ukraine, damn it, they are better than the fucking communists in Russia. How about that? Can we agree to that? Have we forgotten what the hell communists have done? More than the Nazis, my friend. More than the Nazis. Good. I'm glad to see in the chat that there is some receptiveness to this idea of the chat. And now, listen, I want you to understand, if you happen to have a topic like Nazis in Ukraine, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be antagonistic. Um, I'm a happy warrior in that respect, especially when I'm dealing with a guest. Look, I'm a proud Southerner. Okay, I'm not gonna be disrespectful to you as a guest. I'm gonna give you every benefit of the doubt on the show to be able to discuss what you believe, why you believe it, etc. We're gonna have fun with this. We're not gonna be. I'm not interested or looking for antagonism or to piss people off. I mean, if y'all remember, me and Patrick, when we had our show, sometimes I'd have to say to Pat, hey, whoa, whoa, and because he had a sharper take, it could be more antagonistic because he had very strong opinions and expressed them in a very strong way. I am usually trying to not do that. Russia, I simply won't. I just won't on my own. But if, come on, feel free. O'Brien, feel free. Come on the show. Um, we can talk about it. Kinship, I would encourage you. Let's get a move on. Claim your spot. Let's have our discussion. Uh, yeah, he's a spook. Listen, I love, you have to understand something. I love General Flynn. I love the fact that he's a spook. I love that he's, in my estimation, the master spook of this era. Okay. We need people like that. And I ain't mad at him. Do what you got to do, bruh. Do what you got to do. See myself gesturing. It's a weird thing to see yourself out of sequence, you know. And it's like just remembering, oh, that's what I look like gesturing and everything. Okay. Yeah, he is Patton. He is Patton. He is Patton. And let's remember, Patton wanted a certain approach. And some people say they took him out. I'm like, hey, Patton wasn't confused about the Russians. Okay. Now, wow, okay, I see 23 minutes and I better pay some attention amidst the chaos here to these advertisements. So let me. Oh boy. Did she? Yeah, okay, I already downloaded, but I put it in the one. Okay, let me see if I can maneuver a update to one of these overlays. And while I'm having a discussion now, we're talking about some stuff now that happens to flow right into what I wanted to discuss today. I don't want to tell you right now, but I'm wondering. Got to remember, it's a new laptop. Things are not saved where you you put them because you haven't updated everything. Yes, I'm having a conversation with myself while I do this. Where did I put that? I'm just hoping y'all understand where I'm coming from. What I hope to try and do with these guest spots from chat personalities. I'm going to call y'all chat personalities, but um, do need to pay attention to what am I trying to do. You know, this happened yesterday, and I might as well give the hell up and just go ahead with the ads as did. Boy, I'm looking at what's showing on my control panel for the show, and it is not what you're seeing, thank goodness. And to like, why is that? Why is that? You know, I'm learning things about the show and this equipment. And I think it has to, oh, there we go. Okay. Now I can see myself. Okay. I don't know. Let me quit ruminating and let's just do some damn ads. How about that, right? Um, start with the wellness company.
Hello, Badlanders. Are you worried about spike proteins and how they may impact your health? Are you looking for help but don't know what to do? The Wellness Company has an answer in the form of their clean, pure, all-natural spike support formula developed by experts like Dr. Peter McCullough. The Wellness Company's spike support includes incredible nattokinase, dandelion root, black sativa extract, green tea, and Irish sea moss. Even better, the spike formula by the Wellness Company is vegan, gluten-free, and made right here in the United States. Buying American-made, naturalistic ingredients of this quality separately costs over $100. The Wellness Company's spike formula is only $65.99. Go to spikedefend.com to order spike support today and use promo code BADLANDS for 10% off. That's spikedefend.com and promo code BADLANDS for peace of mind if you are concerned about spike proteins. We want to welcome another new advertiser here at Badlands, NoBugsBeef.com. Let's face facts. America's supply chain is going to be increasingly disrupted in the coming months, which means it's not if we'll have a food shortage, it's when. Having enough protein to feed your family for several months is essential for your survival. That's why we've partnered with
198.28.
NoBugsBeef.com. They provide sous vide, freeze dried, all American beef from ranches in Texas that have never ever given their cows an mRNA jab. The beef, stored in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers for maximum shelf life, will stay shelf stable for more than 10 years without refrigeration and with maximum nutrition and flavor. All you need to do is soak it in water for 15 minutes and it's ready to eat. These are not your typical survival meals. They're premium cuts of ribeye, New York strip, tenderloins, sirloin, and chuck. Get your family ready for the chaos at nobugsbeef.com and use the promo code BADLANDS for an additional 10% off your order. That's nobugsbeef.com, promo code BADLANDS. And just a quick reminder to check out Badlands Marketplace on badlandsmedia.tv, where you'll find nobugsbeef.
I have no idea if that ad played all the way through. I could see the image, but I couldn't see the ad. Anyway, wow, that is, that's going to throw me off. But yeah, Maggie, you are a character and a personality, okay? And I expect that's the case for most of you. I want to dwell in the chat a little bit here. Hell, there are Nazis here. Okay, Cheryl. This is partly going to be kind of like the chemtrails thing. You know, I thought, okay, this is just going to be a little one-off, and then people kept coming back, and it's like, okay, all right, we got Nazis around the corner. We're not sure. Gator Sailor One, welcome. We're not sure what the heck is going on because we're not supposed to be able to be sure. We're supposed to be out here swimming in a sea of confusion and trying to sharpen our discernment. To me, I'm talking about us as force multipliers. And that's part of being a force multiplier. I'm talking about us as being somewhat knowledgeable about Bitcoin because there's going to come a time when you are going to need to know something in your friend circle, family circle about Bitcoin and being able to say something about it more than what they understand. To me, that's the way I look at it. So it's like putting some knowledge in our back pocket, sharpening up our discernment, and not falling for the okie doke. They really rely on us falling for the okie doke because it's a tried and true thing. That's one reason why I just am so dismissive of the Nazi nonsense, because it's the same thing here. Having been in a state capital for 3 decades, and every presidential election cycle, you could count on the damn Democrats coming up with some racial bullshit. Oh my goodness, there's a Klansman in Perry, Florida, and he's doing, like, good God Almighty, will people please quit with this stupid? You ain't seen a damn Klansman in your life. You hadn't seen a Nazi either. It's ridiculous the way they use these little things that they know play in the mind, because Hollywood, of course, media. And look, we drive the train on media. I'm talking about we as in the United States. They planted all of this stuff. You respond to it, it gets dripped and dripped and dripped out there. Oh my God, there are Nazis in Ukraine. Oh my God, all this biological weapon research, when every damn nation of substance is doing some damn biological weapons research. Please stop it. Please. You can't stop the output, but you can stop your responding. What was it Kyle is saying? Something about comprehending is better than reacting, or something like that. Yeah, this is part of what this era is all about, trying to pull us out of some of these tropes, right? In my estimation. Along those lines, I need to, now how am I going to be able to do this? Let me see if I can pull up Twitter, because I do rely on Twitter. I do believe it is the battlefield, and I'm very happy the way that battle is going, because we should really be able to take advantage of what Elon's putting together, and notice how they're using Twitter Spaces Notice how they're having some of these conversations and allowing you to be able to interact with some of these political candidates for president. Far better than these bullshit little events the major networks would have, totally scripted in favor of the Democrats. Just nonsense. And what you see on Twitter Spaces is something very different. It's far more conversational. You get far more of a sense. But I will also say, are you paying attention to how many Republicans are throwing their hat in the ring? And I'm just wondering, what do y'all make of that? What do y'all make of that? What do you make of Mike Pence throwing? I'm a Mike Pence fan. What do you make of Mike Pence throwing his hat in the ring? Part of the Substack, I just almost need to withdraw from. I got to go down to Tampa and do this family stuff, but I really want to get this Substack out this week, and that I'm writing. And Mike Pence factors in that, not heavily, but he factors in it. But yeah, I just look. I need to generate some, little scrawls, that I run periodically in the coming weeks or something. But one of my things is so much of what's happening on the global scene is a back at your bitches kind of thing put out by Team Trump. Everywhere you look, in my estimation, my very biased estimation, there's a back at your bitches approach. Okay? Including who's announcing for the presidential election. They are filling up the space. They are taking out some oxygen. I mean, take a look at these polls, and just take a look. If you paid attention to Democrat politics, municipal elections, etc., if a favored candidate from the establishment is in some kind of trouble, they gin up a candidate or two that will peel off a dedicated population that's not particularly savvy. And yes, I'm looking at the African American community when I say this. And they peel off those votes, and then the preferred candidate rolls in. All you have to do is get somebody who is in and of that particular culture that's doubtful or easily swayed or whatever. Those votes get peeled away, and then the establishment guy rolls right in. But they do it also as something of a shaping and manipulating and controlling. And I feel like that's what's happening with the presidential election. And, there's a bunch of people throwing their hat in the ring. A bunch of people. Look, ordinarily, you know the deal. Donald Trump is supremely strong right now. They can talk whatever the hell they want on Twitter, media posts. Oh, he's just too mean. Donald Trump is supremely strong right now and is easily the candidate Republicans want. Easily. But all these people are throwing their hat in the ring. Okay. I think Donald Trump anticipated that. And not surprised by it, not troubled by it. Everything is playing out the way he thought it would. Okay? So I want to find this tweet. I woke up early. That's not a surprise. And I saw this tweet, and I need to try and figure out how to get to my profile because I want to share it with you. Lord have mercy. Profile. I got to remember how to do all these things. Maybe somebody. I got to get back to you in the chat. All stuff. But I saw something from Lee Smith. In fact, let me search for Lee Smith. He is a favorite of mine. Fantastic writer. And he put out something. Let's see. I think it was overnight. I might be wrong. He's in Charleston, South Carolina. What? Might have to hunt this man down. We have anybody in the chat in Charleston? Wait a minute. Robert should use, yeah. My mind is drifting. I'm seeing something about Clarence Thomas, and that's my guy. I'm not, if they mess with Clarence, they got a problem with me. You know what? I'm not going to be able to. General Flynn. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to have to leave it alone. Anyway, I will talk about it. And maybe tomorrow, it's like, wow, am I going to have to overnight in Tampa? I just don't know. But if my memory is correct, and if I'm not too tired and have dreamed this, unbeknownst to myself, he put out a piece. It was an interview he did with Rick Grinnell. I'm wondering, did any of y'all see that? And Rick was talking about Jack Smith. Do y'all know this prosecutor, right? Here was the thing. It immediately percolated in my mind because I remember seeing, I think Donald Trump was doing a speech at Mar-a-Lago, some event he had at Mar-a-Lago. And he said something about Jack Smith, and it was really curious. It's like the way he said it, it sounded to me like he knows who this Jack Smith guy is. And he was kind of sort of indicating to us Jack Smith ain't Jack Smith. He's a created kind of, again, I could be wrong about this, but that's the way I interpret it. He was saying, at the very least, he was saying Jack Smith is a known entity, a wrongdoer of the worst sorts. To me, that's what he was saying. And then this Lee Smith interview with Rick Grinnell verified to me they brought Jack Smith in. The Trump administration had a historic agreement with Kosovo and Serbia, all lined up, that had them removing out the International Criminal Court or whatever because Jack Smith had manipulated that entity. Again, it's a deep state entity as far as I'm concerned. And it's one of the complications when we talk about Ukraine and Russia. Not only was Diana saying, hey, they're all liars, but it's like, look, there are crooks in both countries. There are ridiculously evil people in both countries doing ridiculously evil things. I'm not taking issue with that. I know damn well that's true. I have a suspicion, don't know this. I have a suspicion Zelensky is kind of sort of working with Trump. That perfect phone call and all. I think Zelensky is kind of sort of working with Trump, and what they're doing is they're trying to remove some of those elements within Ukraine, beholden to Hillary's people. Remove some of those elements in Ukraine, beholden to Vladimir Putin. His interests from Turkey, whatever. There's just all kinds of stuff going on from all kinds of interests. And then there's Team Trump. And, we're not sitting there in Team Trump absenting ourselves from the world stage. Peter Zeihan goes on and on and on about that. That is bullshit. That ain't happening, in my estimation. But I was very interested last night. I saw a video where a guy was talking about this Inflation Reduction Act. And if you notice, there are tremendous benefits now flowing to Tesla and EVs. Some of y'all are very suspicious and not happy about it all. But the guy was making the point, this Biden bill and those benefits that are going to Tesla or the electric vehicle industry, that wasn't drawn up by the Biden administration. Those things were determined by a group put together during the Trump administration. So when you pay attention to how we have maintained our position on China, all right, and a whole bunch of other things are happening that don't seem to be Biden inspired, but seem to follow a Trumpian path. I'm in 100% agreement about that. Things are not happening the way you believe. There is something of a movie script. But even that isn't quite what we believe it to be. It's a fundamentally confusing time, which I want you to remember when you see General Flynn, Master Spook, doing whatever he's doing. I'm just saying. And remember, General Flynn has appeared on this network. Okay. And there are other people who have made outreach. There are people who have tried to crash this network earlier, created all kinds of confusion, some of which we gave into, right? There's been a lot of stuff happening. And I think the after action report, I've said this often, it's going to be phenomenal. The after action report is going to be phenomenal. And what can you do other than your level best to try and discern, okay, what do I believe? You need to know what you believe. What do you support? And then I've talked before, it might be something we maybe need to talk about before. Maybe I need to have a scrawl about that. But my probability possibility scale, that's just a personal thing in my mind when I confront an issue. And I don't try to confront that issue initially and say 50-50 when I don't know a damn thing about it. I have an instinct and I give credence to that instinct, and which will then say, okay, 51% this, 49% that. That's me giving a little credit to my instinct. But I think a bunch of us are taking some of this stuff, and when we really don't know, we're just saying, yeah, okay, I believe that in kind of a 85-95 kind of way. And you're only giving 5 or 15% on the, it's like, okay, that can get you in trouble, especially when they feed the Pavlovian stuff, Nazis, okay, fascists, okay, all right. You got to be careful in that way. To me, this is how you protect yourself. Have something of a scale. Are you holding to the scale? That's why I played that video the other day showing the Ukrainian position. This guy's all in on Ukraine, total Ukrainian victory. But if you watch that, you can track that. These are not obvious lies. These are fact of the matter reports of troop movements acknowledged and countered from the other side. It would tell you there ain't no Bakhmut victory. I mean, that's beyond dispute. And it also would lead you to some understanding that it has some strategic importance, Bakhmut. And your job may be trying to figure out what that strategic importance is, that they are working very hard not to acknowledge on both sides. But nobody fights that hard for a place that has no strategic importance. You don't lose that many men for a place that has no strategic importance. This is absurd. but they repeat it all the time. It's like them also asking, okay, when does the counteroffensive start? When has the counteroffensive? It's like, this is the dumbest. Will you shut the hell? What competent military on the face of the planet says, hey, this is when our counteroffensive starts? Hey, counteroffensive is starting today. It's like, God, I want. Yes, I want to choke the life out of a mofo. So, oh man, I uh, I want to, let me see, get back to the chat. O'Brien, you, yes, of course there are biolabs. I said no nation of substance is not doing some biological research. That necessarily means, okay, there are biolabs, okay? Especially because that nation is sitting right next to the nation that may be doing the most biological research in the world. You think there's not going to be some research there? Come on, people. Nazis in the CIA either. What y'all have to understand, I don't think I'm getting it across. Even the use of the word Nazi is word warfare. We use it all the time because it takes our attention away from the fact that they are national socialists. That's all they are. Okay? That's all they are. There's not a damn bit of difference, really and truly, between these freaking communists, the National Socialists, the Democratic Socialists, the Social Democrats. These are all left wing idiots. That's who they are. They pimp the same shit in different kinds of ways. So, this is the word warfare. Oh man, there are Nazis in Ukraine. Oh, socialists. Yeah, National Socialists. Or do you mean these Germans that were defeated and scattered and all? People talk more yang. This was my thing about when I was in Germany. I had so much sympathy for these people. They've been made to bear stupidity. You talk about the Nazis and these freaking communists talk as if they are somehow less evil? No, they are not. They've killed more people than the Nazis ever dreamed of killing. Oh, God. If you're talking about Nazis and you think that's somehow something of a determinant, buddy, you're off track. In my opinion, it's like aliens. I'm not talking about aliens. I'm not thinking about aliens. It's like, oh my goodness. Saying spooks. I don't think people understand the way psyops work. I don't think they understand the job of spooks. I don't think people understand the competition between British spooks and American spooks. Okay, Australian spooks, German spooks. Competition drives the world, even amongst allies. Have you paid attention to France? You want to talk about a nation envious of the American position. France thinks that should be their position. They're not alone. They're just the most obvious of that. You love Gator Sailor One. Thank you. Patrick. Hey, I tell people, I have love for Patrick. I'm not angry at Patrick. who he is. Um, and definitely a personality and a character too. It would be interesting to have Patrick come on as a chat personality, talking about flat earth stuff. Like, oh wow, okay. Um, it was almost done, so I cut it off a little early. Of course, there are. You know what? I just want to chat, and I got to do these other two ads. What the hell are these other? But yeah, there are claims. Look, we're a big ass nation, more than 300 million people. You're gonna have some people who really buy into the Klansman mindset, the Nazi mindset. Okay, this is human diversity. You're gonna find people who believe they're fucking cats. I mean, let me hush. Pence is a traitor. Oh my God, no, no, no. This is what I mean. This is what I mean. Mike Pence, no, definitely not a traitor. Loyal soldier for Donald Trump. Christopher Miller told you so. Ads. It will be 9 damn o'clock and I will not have done my ads. I did the no bugs beef. Pillow. Let's see if I can load that overlay. She's gonna be mad at me, I know, because I never loaded that overlay. And she specifically, Kitty, tried to get us off of a certain, and it's like I see what she's done. She's added it back, probably because people like me have frustrated the hell out of her. Didn't mean to, Kitty. I honestly didn't mean to. But yeah. Why do I keep forgetting that I've tried to do this and said, while trying, quit, leave it alone, do it after the damn show. All right, let's try and get to these ads the way they are presented before the show ends. I have to remember. Come back. I want to tell y'all, just in case you're wondering, I'm going to come back from this 2-week hiatus. I'm going to have a different backdrop, more than likely. I've already purchased the stuff. It's here. I got to just figure out how to use it. And I'm going to be trying to not do this kind of thing. Might have been Eurythmic. It might have been Joe. Somebody said, listen, black man, line everything up the night before, and all you have to do is just do the show in the morning. Yeah. I'm a hard-headed son of a gun. I want you to know. I am a hard-headed son of a gun. But I think y'all have figured that out. Okay. So first up, Benson Honey.
Benson Honey Farms delivers raw honey straight from the hive to your table. It is their mission to provide you the best raw honey at the lowest prices possible. By not pasteurizing, overheating, or filtering their honey, Benson Honey Farms ensures that all of its natural pollen and enzymes stay in the honey for maximum health benefits. So cut out the middleman and go straight to the source. Visit BensonHoneyFarms.com and use the rep code BADLANDS to place your order today. That's BensonHoneyFarms.com, rep code BADLANDS.
Yeah, I'm scrambling for the next ad, and I did this 30-second.
Welcome to the My Pillow 2.0 commercial. The My Pillow 2.0, the most amazing pillow in history. That new technology is still the My Pillow's patented fill, but now we have new technology we didn't have back when I invented My Pillow that's going to help you sleep. It's absolutely amazing, and you're the first ones that can check it out. Go to mypillow.com, use the promo code on your screen, and we brought back the buy one, get one free.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
All right. I think I let all of that play. And yeah, what a disappointing. I was so happy with, and it's like, wow, do I start going to mow this grass this morning? And I went ahead and done that, and I shouldn't have. But the laptop, I totally forgot about the uploads and the, how technology is so finicky that it very likely could have changed some stuff. That's a mistake on my part. I hope to not make that mistake again. But yeah, it's been good and it's been real. Pence is playing a role. There's so many characters. Yeah, the more candidates that run for POTUS, the better for Trump. This is the thing to take away. Yeah, and he's going to benefit from. This is the back at your bitches thing now. He's just simply doing what they've done in all these municipal elections and even in the primaries and crap. He's just tossing that back at him, using the tool. And Diana, Pence had to be, listen, Donald Trump hires well. We need to acknowledge that. He hires well. And when it's somebody who wound up being against him, he was hired because that was known. Pence is not against him. Pence has been a good, loyal soldier. I just don't see anything that says to me he has not been a good, loyal soldier. And nobody has been able to sit there and have a logical conversation with you, denying what Christopher Miller said. Man said, I'm going off script. This is not what they laid out for him. But he felt, again, horse soldier, Green Beret, warrior. He wanted to give props to Pence. I don't want to hear a damn thing anybody else says about that. He wanted to give props to Pence. That's enough for me. All right. So, yeah, I'm over the 9 o'clock minute mark. I'm going to make sure I copy this chat in case anybody indicated in there that they did want to try and participate in this. I'll be taking these, emails, the rest of the week. You don't have to decide now that you want to do this or you don't. If you're interested, send me an email, make a notation, because look, I get a bunch of emails, not from people about this, but the way I set up my account before, I get all kinds of governmental emails, DOD videos, etc. And they can get lost in there. So indicate something about Ratligator report or something about chat personality or something that will draw my attention. Okay. And we will try and move from there. And maybe we'll have a quick conversation about this tomorrow at the top of the show. All right. So with that, on a victory, Tuesday after the Gators beat Texas Tech and continue into the World Series of college baseball, I say to each and every one of you, later, Gators.